Okay, so this video is going to be a little different. Let me preface this by saying that I'm going to be speaking about a song that I heard on my way to work tonight. It's now just after 2 a.m. I'm on my break, and I wrote this down because I wanted to get it all out. I don't know why. I felt compelled to do this when I heard the song on my Pandora on my way to work. And the song I'm going to speak about, I do not own the rights to the song. That it's just that the song spoke to me tonight. Okay, so the song is Drive by Incubus. And I wrote down I've never had an opportunity to speak publicly, and that's obviously probably a good thing. I was in a high school play once, and I spoke at my Nana's funeral, but that's about it. The first few times I sang at karaoke, I had to have a few alcoholic beverages first, and that's no longer the case. But speaking of karaoke, Drive by Incubus is one of my karaoke songs. And it came on my Pandora radio as I'm driving to work, like I said previously. And I started singing along to it. And as I sang the words, I started listening to them. The lyrics have a few different meanings to me, and I felt compelled to write about them, so I can speak them to you. In the first stanza, the lyrics are, "Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty staying clear, and I can't help but to ask myself how much I let the fear take the wheel and steer." Now, how often have we all let fear take hold of us and prevent us from doing what we're supposed to do? I feared my second husband, and it prevented me from doing for so long what I should have done a long time ago, and it almost killed me. And this stanza holds true today with this pandemic. There is so much fear, and it is one every single human on this earth shares. We all share this fear of this pandemic. It is not like my singular fear I had so long ago. We all fear the havoc this virus is bringing. I help care for elderly veterans at a VA hospital. My coworkers and I, we've talked about the effects of this virus, both physically and emotionally. But we still come to work. We are not letting our fear take the wheel and steer. As medical professionals, we are taking the wheel and steering it towards the end of this pandemic. And hopefully you can all do that. The second stanza says, "It's driven me before, and it seems to have a vague, haunting mass appeal, but lately I'm beginning to find that I should be the one behind the wheel." And this stanza has more of a personal meaning to me, more than to do with the pandemic, because of my past. But it can't fit into today's situation for all of us. Fear did indeed drive my life at the time, all those years ago. And sometimes fear is so familiar to all of us that it is almost appealing. I found all those years ago, and in the intervening years, that I had to live my own life, to be the one who held the wheel. That's not to suggest that we shouldn't listen to all the doctors and scientists telling us to stay home and follow social distancing guidelines. We should definitely do that. This stance applies to this pandemic insofar as we should take care to protect ourselves. Yes, the government, doctors, and scientists are telling us to stay home, and we should stay home. But some of us, as a nation, refuse. And just because some of us refuse doesn't mean we should all refuse. We should all be able to make the decision on our own to social distance. But some of us, unfortunately, need to be told. I'm going to skip over the chorus for now and go on to the third stanza, which kind of ties into the previous stanza in relation to this pandemic. So if I decide, hold on. Yeah. Told you I'm not a good public speaker. So if I decide to waver my chance to be one of the hive, will I choose water over wine and hold my own and drive? Wavering one's chance to be one of the hive being people who are not social distancing. Will I choose water over wine, wine being fun, and water being boring? Will you choose fun with your friends, or will you choose bored by yourself and surviving? Hold my own and drive. We know we should be alone right now. And we have to push through this, drive to the end of this pandemic, if you will. Now for the chorus. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there with open arms and open eyes, yeah. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. I'll be there. Just like I did not give up all those years ago, even though it seemed like I did at the time when I was going through it. I will not give up during this pandemic. I will be there for my family. I will be there for the patients I hope to care for. I will be there for my coworkers. I will be there for my friends. I will be there for anybody if it is at all humanly and safely possible to do so. I felt compelled to speak on this matter when I heard the song tonight, and I wanted to get all my thoughts out and felt further compelled to write them down. We have all gone through times in our life when we have felt true fear. Now, during this COVID-19 pandemic is one of those times. We have seen kindness during this pandemic on a larger scale than what we saw on even 9/11 or the marathon bombings. Please, when we have gotten through this, let us all remember the kindness we have seen. Let us not forget the nation we have been during this time. Let us not return to the way things were before. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.